it a certain way and you do it your way and then mess up, I don't want to clean it up. Because that was your fuck up, not mine.
Listen, I was feeling that Jake Paul was going to knock out Tank. This press conference made me feel a little bit more confident about Tank. I'm no cap.
He done a lot in his career, right? Not everything, but he done a lot. What people don't understand is his business is a lot.
Floyd Mayweather analyzes the verses by Jake Paul. Gervonta Davis argues that Davis is risking his career by making his own judgments. Floyd clarifies that although he has previously offered advice, he no longer cares whether it is ignored. He goes on to say that he will surely be watching the fight and that the matchup is beneficial for the sport and the money is excellent.
Within my company, within my team, do it my way. Because if you mess up, I don't mind being a janitor to clean up the mess because I told you to do it a certain way. But if I tell you to do it a certain way and you do it your way and then mess up, I don't want to clean it up. Because that was your fuck up, not mine.
There have been a lot of intense conversations in the boxing community regarding the impending bout between Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis. There are opposing camps among fans and commentators, each of whom is debating whether this battle should even happen. Some argue it's a marketing ploy, while others see it as an opportunity for Tank to reach a wider audience outside of the boxing community. Numerous insiders have come forward to express their opinions amid this clamor. Tank's decision was defended by some, but the sport's direction was criticized by others.
And number 3, the retirement.
I mean, the backlash is just what people do nowadays. That's just, you give somebody a keyboard, you give them a phone, and they able to hide their face. Yeah, they're gonna have a field day. The backlash I get, I understand. What'd you say, number 2, not fight Shakur?
Yeah, he's saying he'll never fight Shakur, that he ain't gonna do him no favors, that he ain't gonna help him make no money because Shakur broke or something like that. Something along those lines.
Yeah, I don't get all that. That's, you know what I mean, that's against the game. Like, you know what I mean? You at least owe that fight for the game. You know what I mean? You owe the rematch to Lamont for the game. But you owe Shakur for the game just because of the 2 style matchups, you know what I mean? But if he feel like he don't gotta fight him, guess what? We can't sit here and just go crazy about it, but it is kind of crazy.
Trainer Greg Hackett voiced his displeasure with the outpouring of criticism Gervonta Davis has been getting, claiming that people nowadays condemn fighters for almost anything they do, frequently without taking into account their unique circumstances. Hackett stressed that it is important to respect Davis's decision if he decides to fight Jake Paul. Nobody outside the ring really understands what a boxer is going through or what drives their career decisions, he said. Hackett believes that instead of choosing a fighter's opponent, boxing fans should value the effort and self-control required to remain at the top. His opinion is representative of a larger annoyance among players and trainers who believe social media has made boxing criticism a never-ending show.
He done a lot in his career, right? Not everything, but he done a lot. What people don't understand is his business is a lot. This whole experience is a lot. The shit these fighters go through is hard to explain. It's hard to explain because people, they can't see it, so they can't understand it. But it's stressful to the fighters because they coming from just getting ready to fight in the amateurs, being prepared, going out there, win, get it done, celebrate, all right, we back to the next camp. To now, marketing. You're talking about marketing. You're talking about lawyers. You're talking about all this shit that you just never imagined. You're like, why do I have to deal with all of this shit? People trying to keep money coming in, so they trying to come up with bright ideas. At the same time, you got a lot of people trying to get.
Max Kellerman, a sports analyst, has become the subject of another heated debate due to the strong criticism his remarks have received. Kellerman is accused by many boxing analysts of being unduly biased, particularly against opponents such as Gervonta Davis. Kellerman downplayed Tank's accomplishments in a number of his most recent appearances, claiming that he had never been a real champion in his weight class or accomplished anything really noteworthy. Analysts took issue with Kellerman's remarks, claiming that they failed to acknowledge Davis's remarkable record and knockout power. Kellerman's analysis, according to critics, exposes a broader prejudice in the boxing media that favors spectacle-driven narratives over younger stars. This argument,
because Max Kellerman is full of nonsense. Max Kellerman claims that Gervonta Davis was never a champion, that we've never been a period of time when we looked at Gervonta Davis and said Gervonta Davis is the man in that weight class. Bunch of other ridiculousness pouring out of the pie hole of Max Kellerman. Max Kellerman is one of the most biased, bought and paid for journalists that there is in the sport of boxing. And to have him back talking again on and giving his opinion again about the sport of boxing, I promise you is not a good thing. But let's analyze what he had to say about Gervonta, that Gervonta was not ever a champion. That is ridiculous because Gervonta Davis was a champion for the IBF at 130. He was a WBA super champion at 130. He is currently the reigning WBA champion at 135. And there is no other champion in the division for the WBA at the moment. He is the only WBA champion that there is at 135. He had a portion of a secondary. The title at the time he won it at 140 was a secondary title. So if you do not want to count that, I don't know why you wouldn't, seeing as everybody else counts that belt. But okay, fine. He's a 2-division world champion. That is more than zero, Max Kellerman. Now, looking at the idea that Gervonta Davis has never been the man in that division is absolutely ridiculous because Gervonta Davis has really been the man in that division the entire time that he's there.
Paulie Malignaggi, the former world champion, has never held back when expressing his sentiments, and this encounter is no different. He publicly chastised Paul, claiming that the sport is becoming less genuine. He thinks that knockouts are only
knockouts, dude. Knockouts. People like knockouts. They don't care if you're knocking out cab drivers. Look at Jake Paul's career.
You can manufacture that, though. You can manufacture that, though. You can
manufacture knockouts. You can't manufacture.
To a
Gervonta
degree,
Davis.
you can. To a degree. I mean, you can't. Yeah, Gervonta legitimately cannot get knockouts. I agree. He can punch, but there's a lot of limited knockout artists, though, man.
He's one of the least active punchers in the game with the highest knockout percentage of current heavyweight.
But if he was a real knockout artist,
current champions.
If he was a real knockout artist, prop him up against the best of the best. Felix Trinidad was a knockout artist. He was knocking out the best of the best. If you're a real knockout artist, prop him up against the best and show us how he smokes them. But the way
Paulie,
we did when Felix Trinidad was doing it. You know? The way they did it when Mike Tyson was doing it in his prime. Say what you want about the Mike Tyson era. He knocked out everyone from 1986 to 1989. Everyone got knocked out. Everyone.
Well, by your standard, you could say that Tyson was, to a degree, manufactured.
No, because he fought everyone that was there. Everyone that was there at that time he fought.
Teddy Ellis will 100% agree with this.
With the expense of
Witherspoon.
They
were afraid of him.
With the exception of Witherspoon. No, but they all, doesn't matter. He knocked them all out. There was nobody you could say in that era except maybe Witherspoon, who had contract issues with King at the time. Except for Witherspoon, there is nobody Tyson didn't fight in that era. He knocked them all out. You can't say like, oh, but if he would have fought that guy, I don't know. No, with Davis, there's guys right now that have been hanging around for years. Yo, dude, when are you going to fight them? The lightweight division was stacked with talent. Even at 130, it had a lot of talent when he was there. Didn't fight almost any of them. So it's not the same thing as the Tyson era. You want to say anything about Tyson era? Fine. It wasn't as high level or something. He still knocked out everyone.
Significant when they take place between opponents who are evenly matched. He asserted that manufactured battles devalue boxing and trick casual viewers into believing they are seeing real fights. He made it apparent in his conversation with Malignaggi that although casual viewers might find the event amusing, true sports aficionados are able to see through the show. He thinks that letting fighters who are motivated by social media compete on the same stage as elite athletes confuses what true boxing is. His Rama...
I'll beat the hell out of this kid. Listen, I was feeling that Jake Paul was going to knock out Tank. This press conference made me feel a little bit more confident about Tank. No cap. I know Tank wasn't saying much, fumbling over his words, seems bashful, but I'm looking, right? And I'm just like, bro, he doesn't feel that Jake Paul is an issue. Even though he said it, he doesn't feel like he has to whoop his ass. He doesn't feel threatened. That's the word. He doesn't feel threatened, but he does feel out of his element. This Yo, I'm gonna be honest, man. It sounds like, I know everybody's looking at this press conference and it's like, number one, I know what y'all saying. It's a clown show. It's not real. Tank was paid off. It's fake. Cause Tank, when he was talking about Jake and JB, even I was like, what is he talking about?
He laughing.
What are you talking about? What does he have to do with this?
Let anything, you know what I'm talking about. Let anything. Nah, I don't have to say it right now. Don't worry about it. I don't got to say it up here. Let anything happen. And I'm going to show you and him.
So that I could understand if that's your concern. I am being extremely truthful with how I feel about this and how I'm reacting to this. My oldest son was like, I see the same thing, Dad, but you're going to get a weird response to your take.
Unlike critics such as Paulie Malignaggi, boxing analyst Showbiz, the adult, expressed a far more positive outlook after watching the press conference between Gervonta Davis and Jake Paul. He admitted that, at first he had reservations about Davis's size disadvantage, believing Jake's power and frame might give him the upper hand. However, after witnessing Tank's composure, focus, and professionalism, Showbiz said his perspective completely changed. He noted that Davis appeared calm, confident, and fully aware of the moment's significance, showing the poise of a true champion. This composure made Showbiz believe that Gervonta has the mindset and adaptability to neutralize Jake's physical advantages. He went on to suggest that the fight could